I guess sound issue today after maybe I covered the transmitter side unconsciously. Anyways, how was your mindful lunch? Did you overeat or did you eat less? How was it? It doesn't matter, right? In the Buddhist teachings, there is enormous amount of emphasis about eating in moderation. It affects our Dhamma practice. It's not a normal thing. It affects our Dhamma practice. Whatever the things that we are doing, anicca, dukkha, anatta, noble eightfold path, they all are impeded by eating too less or eating too much. So let me get started the discussion, because we are supposed to talk about how these two concepts, sati, sampajanya, in your word mindfulness, meditation, and clear knowing, bring you happiness, what you call peace. But we are going to look at it through a problem that we witness in the morning. That problem is called, here we understand it as clingings. So this is the problem. We are going on to the sati sampajanya through this issue. The issue is fourfold. But before that, let me touch upon a little bit about mindful eating, right? Very interesting. Now, what is the last precept in your 5 precepts? I think you know 5 precepts are not killing, not stealing, not sexual misconduct, not lying, no intoxicants. Is it correct to translate that way? Is it correct to translate not taking intoxicants as the 5th precept? Sura mereya majja pamadattana veramani sikkhapadam. Does all of you know about this thing? Sura mereya? What does sura mereya mean? Alcohol? So as Buddhists you cannot consume alcohol? Let's be honest about it. You cannot. Oh. That's a big claim, huh? It's a very big claim. But what is this precept? Did the Buddha really talk like that? Sura, mereya. These are 2 types of intoxication. Sura means fermentation, fermented food and beverages. What is this fermentation like? Fermentation happens from rice and then the bakery products, pastry and all that. Now when you eat couple of plates of rice, you feel drowsy, you feel like dozing off, you feel sleepy. That means you have already breached sura mereya, even by eating rice, too much rice. Everybody feels drowsy with regard to rice at different levels, so you should know your own level. Then what about fermentation with regard to other products? Even the bread, they are using yeast in that fermentation. Nowadays they don't even put it overnight, so people feel like bloated and then getting gastric because they don't leave it for overnight process. They just put the yeast, make the bread, because a lot of demand for the bread, right? Anyways, there is fermentation. Now what does it mean? Does it mean that we have to avoid the bread and rice? No. We have to know the fermentation level that can come from rice and wheat flour. That is up to you. That is sura. Mereya. Mereya means intoxication that is from distillation. What is the distillation means? These are little bit strong drinks, right? That means when somebody is actually consuming those kind of distilled drinks, at a certain point this person will be losing that presence of mind. So now you are saying that you are not taking any fermented food and beverages, or distill food and beverages to an extent where you are going to lose your presence of mind. Where is this alcohol thing coming up now? Don't we consume alcohol in different forms? How do we do that? You are having a cough. Then you are trying out different over-the-counter medications. But you understand nothing is going to work for you. Now your cough is getting very bad. You have a wet cough, lots of phlegm, maybe a dry cough. Then you are going to see your GP or whoever the doctor. Then the doctor is prescribing a syrup which may have something like codeine. Is codeine narcotic? It's a narcotic drug. And then the doctor says to you, you can't take it until you go to sleep. Just before you sleep, you take it. You don't do machine operations, you don't drive, take it and sleep. Because the medication kicks in when you sleep. Medication can easily deal with the bacteria or virus. So then we are taking alcohol, right? Aren't we? We are taking. But that's a medical prescription. Another example, there may be someone who is having a very bad knee pain and the doctor suggesting knee transplant, but cannot afford the operation. So be in the queue, line up for the operations. Till that time is going to come for this particular patient, doctor says, I'm going to give you a strong painkiller. What kind of painkiller will he sometimes recommend? Maybe, maybe heroin, maybe morphine too. What these products are going to work? It try to numb your pain. But heroin is a drug. And morphine is a drug too. Then that means we are consuming. But these were recommended by the doctors with a certain medical expertise, and then we are following it. So Suramereya Majjapamadatthana doesn't mean avoiding alcohol. It means you are not taking not even alcohol, but also immoderate level of eating whatever the food, beverages, both fermentation side and distillation side. That is how we are going to look at it. And if somebody is developing a thought, no, I don't want to drink any alcohol, that's okay. That's okay. But there's no such thing that you can avoid 100% because we consume in different ways. So I think this is very interesting about mindfulness and these kind of practices because, but there is someone who is going to the black market and buying heroin, marijuana, ecstasy, substances, and going to become obsessed and cannot live without them, right? This is a problem. This is definitely Suramereya. But unless otherwise, you should be okay. This doesn't mean you should do that. If you can avoid, much better. But there is no such thing that we can 100% avoid these things. Because that is how we have to understand the conditions of the world. All right, so going into our topic, Sati and Sampajanya. Sati, let's put it in a very simple way because of the timing. Meditation. Is meditation important? If so, what kind of meditation is important? What is meditation? Let me ask you. How many of you meditate every day? Every day, to be honest. At least 5 minutes. How many of you? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Just don't be shy, meditation. How many of you meditate but you don't know you meditate? That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. We all meditate, even you don't meditate on purpose. Let's say you go clean your house and you know that you are cleaning your house. Meditation. I call it a mini meditation, sacred pose. Mini meditation. And you do dishes. And then you, walk by understanding I walk now. You lie down by understanding I lie down now. You stand by understanding you stand. Now you sat down knowing that I already, I have sat down. Meditation. But unfortunately you don't know that you are meditating. It is meditation. So this sati is a very broader subject where all these smaller, minor, large activities are included. But a meditation like breath meditation is a different level. Don't worry about it. It's a different level. But other than that, when somebody asks you, do you meditate? Say yes. Because you do meditate. You do have to acknowledge yourself. Right? Without acknowledging, you can't label yourself, right? Your sticky notes. You label very easily. I was thinking, these people are labeling very easily. Yeah? How come? Before labeling, you must know who you are. And somebody said, this sticky note is very small to write. What I think, right? Anyways, why do we meditate? Let's say there is someone who wants to meditate every day in a little higher way. Metta meditation, breath meditation. Why should we need to meditate? For what? You were trying to say something, right, before? Somebody, I think here. Yes. Why do we need to meditate? For what? Develop the mindfulness. Okay. Any other answers? Focus. What do you think about a cat who is trying to aim for a mouse? Rat, super focusing. Wait for a couple hours to catch the rat. What about a crane who is waiting for many hours to catch a fish? Super focusing. What about the law enforcement who is trying to catch a criminal for many years? What about the drug cartels, criminals who are trying to transport drugs cross-border? Super focusing. Then your idea is going to be impeded. You have to come up with a specific idea. What kind of focusing is that? You get what I mean? That idea is getting impeded. So how do we look at this focusing through meditation? Focusing on kusala thoughts. Cat, crane, criminals, they don't have kusala thoughts. They are focusing on akusala thoughts. Any other answers about meditation? Why do we need to meditate? The purpose? Why do we need to meditate? Don't worry if you don't meditate, but at least you have an idea why this is happening, Yeah.
Bring ourselves to the present moment.
Okay, bring ourselves to the present moment. Others? To? To be able to realize the nature. Okay. Do you have any mundane benefits? Mundane ones? Like day-to-day expectations? Do you sometimes having some arguments with other people in the household? Are you? Do you? Why is it? Why do we come up with arguments among our people?
One person makes a mistake.
One person makes a mistake. So we are supposed to be angry. We get angry. That means not knowing what's happening within our mindset. That's a very big challenge. And we also have a very big ego time to time. We need to lower our ego at the same time. It's one of the very big benefits of meditation. And we don't feel grounded, right? We feel very disoriented in our life. because of the things. So clarity of the mind is very important. And at the same time, when we meditate, we understand other people more and more. But do you see that from meditation people? I found somebody long time ago, we had a group meditation, and every time we do the group meditation, there's an ambulance going on the road. So the person is very mad. This particular person said, I started my beautiful meditation waiting for 1 week, and this ambulance is going that day. I said, these are very good distractions for you to check whether you can tolerate. One very important thing about meditation is tolerance. Whether we can be patient about what's happening around us. Now you said we will become angry because of other people. What if one day we become patient about what other people are doing to us? Maybe on the next day they might understand their problem. When we always going to respond, react to what other people are doing, then this will be escalated into the another level. Sometimes we should give some opportunities for other people to reflect on what they are doing. And they will feel bad about what they are doing something wrong to us. Right? So there are many things to think about in terms of meditation. One very good meditation is metta meditation. Metta means? Yes, this is a very interesting one. The Buddha said there are 3 types of people who get angry. The first one is the one who gets angry, whose anger stays for many years, many decades. So his anger is like a rock anger, something carved on a rock. Second person who is getting angry is becoming angry, but the anger stays for a short time, maybe for a day, 2, maybe a week. It's like soil anger. Soil anger means when you draw something on the sand, it might stay there for a while, but it will be erased. The third person who becomes angry is someone who becomes angry, but that anger instantly disappears. Become angry, and then on the other side, recover very fast. But don't think he's a sociopath. Huh? Sociopath. Or anybody who have those bipolar issues or sociopaths, they have the same thing. So the Buddha says, it is normal to become angry till you attain certain levels, but if you know that you are angry, that is a solution for that. But practicing metta every day for at least 5 minutes helps you to understand yourself and the other people. So meditation is such a very vast area. But today we are talking about sati and sampajanya. Sati means bare attention. You have to have the attention where you are now. Now you are here. And then sampajanya means clear knowing of what you are doing. When I talk, I know, I have to know I'm talking. While I'm talking, there are people who think about what they talk after they talk. Did I talk? Did I say bad words to you? After they finish. When you develop sampajanya, with sati you come to a point that you know while you are on the talking, you know what you are talking. Thinking. You know what you are thinking on the thinking. That's very interesting. So then it gives you peace of mind, inner peace that you've been discussing. We will go to know what they are as a solution, but now we will deal with your clinging part a little bit more, which we discussed today morning. All right, clingings. Now we discuss lobha, greed, we discuss tanha, craving, and we discuss about upadana, clinging. There are 4 types of clingings which the Buddha talks. 4 types. So you have to understand which clinging you may have. Number 1, kama upadana. Kama upadana means clinging to sensual pleasure. Second is dittupadana. That means clinging to your own perspectives, views. Third one, Silabbata Upadana, clinging to rites and rituals. Number 4 clinging is Attavadupdana, clinging to yourself. I think that is what we are discussing today, self. What is karma here? What does karma mean here? Karma, not karma, okay? Karma. What does karma mean? Sensual pleasure. What is the Buddhist thought about sensual pleasure? Can you live without sensual pleasures? No. Then, how to live then? You cannot live without sensual pleasure. What are the sensual pleasures? Why you talk about taste at the beginning? Okay. Okay. There are 6 karmas, 6 sensual pleasures. What are they? Sight. The beautiful sights which you want to see. Second, sound. Then smell, taste, touch, and then thoughts. How do people enjoy these 6? Rupa. People would like to see their beloved ones, things that they like to see every day, all the time. They keep memories, they want to see big photos, they want to, all that experience. And sounds, voice, they want to hear their voice, they want to keep the songs that they want to hear, sounds. Then smell. There are people who are very particular about smell, aroma, bad smell. Some people even actually become very unwholesome in a moment of time when they smell a bad smell, Right? Sometimes we may have to go through these things. We always treat they are moments of practicing Dhamma. Smell. And then taste, liking certain taste, disliking other taste. And then touch, the coarse things, the touch. And then the thoughts. And there are people and even normal folks, they become clung to the sensual pleasures. Can you tell us, anybody over here, how do we cling to sensual pleasures? How does it happen? Any good example? Maybe from your from personal lives or something. How do we cling to sensual pleasures? Listen to music. Is it clinging?
Like one song, keep on listening the same song again.
I think it happens. There are even functions, repeat, loop, right? Is that a clinging? What if you come to a point that you cannot live without hearing that song? That is a clinging. You cannot survive without hearing that song. You become very angry. You are not happy. You are talking to others in a bad way. Then we understand this has obsessed me in my life. But repeating a song shouldn't be a problem there. It's like repeating a Dhamma talk. Then you have clinging to the Dhamma talk. Right? But your intention is to learn. Sometimes when you learn a Dhamma talk, one day you want to listen to that Dhamma song, another day you hear something else. That day you did not learn that. Listen to that song a couple of times. But if you create a certain thought that you cannot live without hearing that song, then that could be a clinging. Other examples? Coffee in the morning. But there are people who have some health problems too. They cannot drink tea. Maybe they are lactose intolerant. There are issues. But some others, they can have choices, but they still they still stick to the particular drink. That means if you can try other things, you should try. Otherwise, you will kind of have a clinging. Don't take it to your relationships, huh? You don't have to change. You know where is the greed level for the relationship, where is the clinging level of that. Other examples? Coffee. Huh? Cigarettes, smoking habits. Yeah, it's going to be definitely a clinging. And it's a bad one, unhealthy thing too. Yeah, lowering. Others, like what you did today morning, when you label your problem, you can overcome faster. You know that this is a problem in my life, so you can overcome faster. Yes?
Good discussion. A lot mentioned about attached to phones, TikTok, Facebook.
Okay. Social media apps. Yeah, so you can track how much time you are on these apps. You can minimize, you can do a digital detox, like digital fast. It's good time to time. Whether you can survive without a phone, whether you can survive without the apps, right? That's good. So in this way, this can be a very overall clinging. So we have to cut down on the clinging part of the sensual experience. Otherwise, sensual experience is necessary for all of you to survive. Even that your attachment to mother, father is a kind of sensual pleasure. But you don't call it a greed. You don't call it a craving. Because sensual pleasures have attachments built in. But the problem is if you bring lobha, greed, then if you bring more greed, it will become craving. If you bring more craving, it will become clinging. So you will get to the clinging after lobha, tanha, and then go to the clinging. All right. Next comes up an interesting dimension of this clinging. Ditti upadana. What is ditti? We all have our personal views about life, ourselves, the world, and everything. Let me ask you, where does ditti, I would say views, fall into in our experience? Akusala experience. How do we create a view about something? Huh? When we? Greed, lobha. So this ditti is a part of greed. Why is it? When I become greedy about what I believe about life, other people, then I will create ditti. Ditti comes from lobha. So we have to be careful. That means if we lower our clinging, greed, then we will have very wholesome views. What are the wholesome views that you can have in your life? There are 10 wholesome views which the Buddha talk about. You can check it out later. There are 10 wholesome views. Taking care of mother, taking care of father, they are also wholesome views. But be careful, there are people who have become vulnerable to their own views. Right? You don't have to go to politicians, but become very vulnerable about what they believe. They cannot think out of the box. One big issue when you have a lot of hardcore views is that you cannot see the world as it is. Because you only see a certain aspect of the world. Right? Silabbata upadana. Silabbata means rites and rituals. Are you following certain cults? Are there Buddhist cults in this world? Huh? Cults, C-U-L-T-S, cults. You don't need to name me, huh? Yes. There are cults. In some cults, they respect the war veterans, the dead war veterans, as a practice of Buddhism. It's one cult, a Japanese cult. And there are many cults. The Buddha doesn't recommend these cults. Never become a Buddhism is not a cult. One day when somebody came to see the Buddha, he asked, Bhante, you see, that particular man eats like a dog, talks like a dog, sleeps like a dog. Then what will happen to him when he passed away? It's very clear, he become a dog. Yeah, that's what he's been doing. Kukkuravatiya Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya. Then he also saw another man on the other side, eats like a cow, and then cows don't talk, maybe goes out as a cow, and ruminates, and then lies like a cow. What will happen to this man who is practicing the Govruta, the cult of a cow, thinking he will liberate, go to Nibbana? There's no doubt he will become a cow. So when you do more activities as a certain person, you will become in the next life. It is simple. So the Buddha said, never fall prey to any cults. Just follow the original Buddha teachings. What are the original Buddha teachings? Tell me. How to find out original Buddha teachings? Very interesting question. Because when you go to internet, a lot of teachings, this person, that person, it's like it has become a roja, the Malay, because it's a lot of things, like a pickle. How to find out the original teachings of the Buddha? Where to find them? Because this is a Buddhist camp, right? So it's better to know where to find them. Plus you are very familiar with the digital gadgets. It's better you know the place, you go, and then you learn from them only. Better. Original access. Any thoughts? I'm not asking the website. What are the places? What are the area of the sut, whatever the teachings that we have to follow? Then we can go for the websites. This is a very interesting question, thing that we have to learn. Okay, so the original Buddha teachings are called early Buddhism. We call it early Buddhism. This is the name for that. And we find the early Buddhist teachings of the Buddha under 4 books. Digha Nikaya, we call long discourses. Then Majjhima Nikaya, middle length discourses. Then Anguttara Nikaya, numerical Dhamma talks. Then Samyutta Nikaya, miscellaneous. Okay. These 4 books are called as early Buddha teachings. Earliest. Then the rest of the books are from Theravada, Mahayana schools. Okay? So early Buddhism is not Theravada. Now they actually preserve these 4. But can you tell me a book from Theravada? Specific book? Kuddaka Nikaya. Some books of Kuddaka Nikaya, not all, some books. And the big one, Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma, very interesting. In these 4 works, when the Buddha asks, Bhante, where is the mind? Where can we see our mind? The Buddha says, you cannot find the mind in one place. Mind is bodiless. There is no particular place. But then the Theravadins, they said, no, there is a place for the mind in the body, in the Abhidhamma. They said, Hadaya Vattu. Hadaya Vattu. What is this? Hadaya Vattu means blood associating the heart. They made a good point. When you have a bypass surgery, they take the heart out sometime, open heart surgery. but still there is some blood flow going to the heart. They said the mind lies not in the heart, but the blood flow that goes to the heart. So Theravadins were very specific about the place of the heart, the mind. The Buddha says in this, no, because when I have the pain in my leg, mind is over there, right? When I eat something, mind is there. So that's why we have to understand. So when you learn Dhamma, give more focus onto these 4 books. That is called early Buddhism. Then you are not becoming a part of cults, Buddhist cults. Now say for instance, breath meditation. When you read these 4 books, early Buddhist books, Buddha never says you have to focus one place when you do the breath meditation. Buddha never talks about. But later on, some of the schools that came up, they said you can look at your tummy. When it is contracting, it's going down. You see the tummy, and then you can practice. Even now I'm taking, there are people who are looking at tummy. That's not the Buddha teaching. And they are saying, look at your nostrils. Maybe your lips, you can do the breath. They are teachings added by schools. Buddha only says, you just feel the long breath, short breath. So there are a lot of differences when you learn. So my suggestion is, don't become a victim to any Buddhist cults. Only learn the true Buddhist teachings. But respect all these people. Don't say anything bad about them. Because they are all trying to preserve something, but not what we are supposed to learn. Finally, attavādupadāna, clinging to self. How do we know that we have this last kind of clinging? How do we know it? When we become too much egoistic. Are there moments we become very egoistic? Actually, what is the Pali word for this? This word is from ego, from Sigmund Freud, psychoanalysis concept. Sakkaya Ditti. We become too much into our personality conceit. So what can we do? We have to become humble. We have to become humble. When we become humble, our thoughts of ego will slowly go down. Now I would give you a very concerning example. You know, when you become a Sotapanna, do you know what is becoming a Sotapanna? The first enlightenment in Buddhism. You overcome ego, 100%. You overcome it. It won't come back again. But in the Buddhist stories, there is a lady whose name called Vishaka. What's her name? Vishaka, who was a Sotapanna when she was 7 years old. Much, much younger than all of you. Right? 7 years old. She became a Sotapanna. And then she fell in love with a man and she married. And she got children. She got 500 grandchildren. What kind of a woman is this? Just think about it. How come a Sotapanna fall in love with the man and married and getting children and grandchildren? Then there is something wrong in our understanding about this enlightenment process. How come Vishaka, being a Sotapanna, dating a man? How does it work? How does it work? It works. Now you think about, I can date after becoming a Sotapanna. How it works is, she understands that she should not fall prey to the Panchakanda. I should not be greedy for the Panchakanda. I know my body will be destroyed at a certain point. But I understand myself. Till I die, I have a self. I have to deal with it. As a lady, I cannot deal myself alone. I have to go with the process. But I have spiritually overcome the akusala part of them. That's why she was able to become as such. There are many other stories, not even Vishaka. But there are nowadays maybe lay people who want to become a Sotapanna, who leave the house and become a monastic. But there were other lay people at that time who became Sotapanna by being a lay person because they understood the true Dhamma. These Dhamma things from Diga, Majjhima, Samyutta, Anguttara. True Dhamma. That means you may not be able to attain Nibbana, but you can still become all these enlightenment individuals as being as a lay person, having a very good life. So, clinging to self means you are taken away by your own ego. So, you try to overcome it by being humble as you can. All right, any questions about clingings? Then we can talk about Sati Sampajanya after that. We can take maybe 1 or 2 questions. Clingings in particular. You want to take them the other mic too? Better. We will take 2 to 3 questions and then we will go to Sati Sampajanya. So timing. Yeah.
Bhante, my question is about clinging to families relationship. So my uncle passed away just 2 days before the camp. I have paid a last visit to him in hospital. He was unconscious already. So at that time, when the doctors declared that he has passed away, and they are going to remove his life support. And that's a moment a lot of our family members actually break into tears, and I can see sadness around. But one thing I do observe is my aunt, the wife, who has been with him for 50 over years, she remains very calm. She remains very calm. And I start to ponder about how is this relationship with our families, because we know that our parents, like for myself, I have a lot of attachment to my parents. So when my uncle passed away, I also realized my parents are getting older and older, and so having the thoughts, having the fear that they are going to pass away one day as well, and I start to think about it actually disrupting my peace. So because of this clinging to this relationship, it's actually disrupt. Just thinking about it, it causes me sadness and things like that. So I try to not think about it. So instead focus on just the present moment with them. But I also wonder, is it the right thing to do? Yeah.
I think we all have this kind of fear, more or less, because we don't like to let go of our loved ones. And the answer is that this will happen one day at a certain point of our life, and then we will juggle with the time, and time will heal us. It's how it happens. There is no other way to put them in a limbo, saying that no, I don't want to think about them. Because I think it's an experience that we are going through. I don't think it's a part of clinging. It's attachment. Sensual pleasure as an attachment. It's very normal. It's not a clinging. Clinging means that you are creating akusala in regard to these people. Sadness is akusala. I don't understand that. Dosa, it comes from dosa, because you don't like to accept what's happening. You are in conflict with what's happening. But for bereavement or grief in regard to the loved ones is a process. This process will be settled by the timing. But during the time, before this happens, I think it's better to understand the universality of things, what you call anicca, dukkha, anatta. Just an understanding about these things will help us to, absorb what's happening. But when they pass away, definitely those hidden emotions will come back again. So you will have to work with it. Otherwise, there is no way that, because we can't be tearless people at that time too, right? Because you have to release your, what you call those things. I think it's a different layer, not this kind of a bad kind of clinging. Yeah. Time and a sort of understanding. All right, I think we will go to Sati Sampajanya a bit in a couple of minutes and then go to the other questions. What is Sati? It is the bare attention cultivated by integrating one of the 4 establishments: body, feelings, mind, and then Dhamma. I haven't given those 4. So because we have attention. Do we have an attention all the time? We have an attention. But the problem is our attention mostly revolves around the akusala. Right? What to see, what to hear, what to smell, what to taste, and what to touch, what to think. But this sati is taking you to a certain wholesome attention, that you are kind of bringing a wholesome attention through by focusing on your body, like a breath meditation is one of them, walking meditation one of them, as such. Sati is bare attention. Sampajanya means that you are able to understand what is happening through the sati during the time. During the time. Normally people don't understand things during the time. If we are trying to bring a sort of awareness during the time, we can become very much better people in our Dhamma practice. So Sati Sampajanya, Sati is the attention part, Sampajanya is the knowing part, clearly knowing part, what I am talking to other people, what I am thinking, what I am doing. So I know what I am doing, I know what I am thinking, I know what I am talking. That ability comes from developing Sampajanya. Okay? Sati and Sampajanya, they are simultaneous. They arise together when they are cultivated. They have to cultivate together. We will learn how to cultivate. This photo is very interesting. I am going to use a certain sutta to talk about peace. Where you see Sati Sampajanya, I am going to make it. Where is the habit? See full screen. Okay, full screen. Okay. Now, you can see the process in Buddhism how to become peaceful. Just because you want to be peaceful, you can't be peaceful. Keep in mind. Trust me, you can't be. You will have a very what you call a random thought. Yes, I want to be peaceful, but it's not going to be durable. In order you need to have a certain durable peace, the Buddha talks about a process. Avijja Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, 10.61. Anguttara Nikaya, third book. First, you must have noble friends. Cultivating friendships with noble individuals is the first step in this practice. Who are the noble friends? Are you noble friends to each other? Or are you Dhamma camp friends? Who are you? Who is a noble friend? Someone who is always thinking good thoughts, wholesome thoughts. Someone who always talks wholesome speech, good words. Someone who always thinks good thoughts. That is the Kalyana Mitta. In Pali we call Kalyana Mitta. So we have to start our practice from being with the Kalyana Mittas. I think this is a very good start. If you haven't been to a retreat, Dhamma camp, very good start. You know each other, you get to know, you do things together, Kalyana Mitta practice. Now, is this enough? No. Second part. When you have noble friends, only you can learn about the true Dhamma. Now you have gathered here, learning from lay teachers and monk over here, true Dhamma. Right? Being with noble friends allows you to hear the true Dhamma directly, which is more beneficial than following an online talk. Right? Listening to true Dhamma. When you listen to true Dhamma only, you become devotional about Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. You will create some confidence about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. When you have that confidence, you will come to wise attention. Something that happens before Sati Sampajanya. Wise attention means, what is it? Number 4. Wise attention is like the example is iceberg, like an iceberg. What can you see on an iceberg in the ocean? Only the tip of the iceberg can be seen. Can you see the other part of the iceberg? It's covered. Most people, when they deal with the problems, they only look at the tip of a fractional understanding about the problem. So they are creating more problem than the problem, right? So that's why we need to have a full spectrum of the problem, then find the right solution for that. We see it as wise attention. That only happens when you have noble friends, true Dhamma learning, and then triple gem confidence. When you have wise attention, then only you can go to Sati and Sampajanya. Sati Sampajanya, bare attention, and then the clear knowing will arise within you when you only have wise attention. That means wise attention means being able to see anything from its full experience, from its full perspective. Never look at anything from a marginalized, fractional understanding, because you may neglect certain aspects. When you have Sati Sampajanya, you are going to practice sense restraint. You know how to take care of your eyes. You know how to take care of your ears. You know how to take care of your nose. You know how to take care of your, tongue. You know how to take care of your body and mind. You are fully, equipped with the Dhamma gadgets, not the digital gadgets, Dhamma gadgets. You have all the gears how to protect yourself from the Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Pottabha, Dhamma. Sights, sounds, smell, taste, touch, and thought. You are pretty equipped, right? You are, pleasure proof. You are pleasure proof because you know what to do. You know what pleasure you want to have, but you know this is not for me. I just go away from this. You pick. Now what has happened? They pick on you. Pleasures pick on you. But when you have these gadgets, you pick on the pleasure. This is what I want, I leave it. When you go to YouTube, you watch the video, you come back. But earlier and now, you go to YouTube, you can't come back. There's autoplay, auto suggestions. I had to watch this. What time? 4-5 hours, and then time is. That happens. Only when you have Sati Sampajanya, through that you go to Indriya Sangvara. A lot of management, handling about your senses. You know what to pick on, not that pleasures pick on you. When you have that, you are able to take care of your 3 doors: body, speech, mind. You know how to take care of as a full spectrum. That means you are not going to kill, steal, not sexually misconducting, not lying, not bad mouthing, not using harsh words, not gossiping, idle chatting, not being covetous, not having ill will, not having wrong view. So these are body, speech, mind. Your 3 doors are fully protected. When you have that, then you are able to work on your 5 hindrances, Pancha Nivarana, which are covering the reality. That is reality, but I cannot see it. 5 things come and cover me in looking at it. So you're going to overcome these 5. Kamachanda, unnecessary sensual desires, Vyapada, ill will, Tina Midda, sloth and torpor, that means lack of your energy, and then Uddacha Kukucha, remorse and restlessness, and then doubts. You are going to overcome these 5. Then you are going into the proper inner peace, which you believe, which starts from within yourself. So keep in mind, this is a process. It might not be enough for you to practice in 4 days. It's a process, but you get the right knowledge, and then you are able to do it. How to practice Sampajanya? Whenever you do anything, you talk, you eat, you drink, you sleep, try to know what you are doing. That is Sampajanya. Very easy. Sati helps you to do that. Attention. Give full attention, then you can see. All right. Any questions about this finally? I hope that we can wrap this up in a minute or two. Yeah, you have a question. Yes. You wanna, yeah, please. Better.
Bhante, we are familiar with the terms, like many of us are familiar with sati, but for Sampajana, there is one part I would like to clarify, is on the discerning what is right and wrong, because knowing what is happening is one part, but whether what is happening, is it happens in a helpful way, or is it in a harmful way? Is it good for me, or is it not good for me? Well, how should we make this judgment?
Okay, so Sampajanya means that you have to quickly understand whether this is wholesome or unwholesome and quickly execute it or not. Let's say now you are talking. Let's say you are someone who lies a lot. Not you, You are let's say you are a typical liar. When you keep lying, you lose the vocabulary at a certain point. You don't know how to continue my speech. Then you might add certain things. You are garnishing your speech. And then what will happen? You may go to bad mouth, you may gossip, all that. So when you talk, you are thinking what to talk. Is this beneficial in a wholesome way? Right? Not just beneficial, because one gossiper might say, I talk to another gossiper the beneficial things. Right? He calls on WhatsApp or phone, I talk to the other person beneficial, but apparently the contents are gossiping. No? So it's more about having a certain judgment. Judgment, in order to develop the judgment, you need to practice Yoniso Manasikara. Here you see, number 4. That Yoniso Manasikara helps you to do that judgment, that moral judgment at that point. But to get there, you need trust about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, true Dhamma learning, and noble friends. So all these are gradual in order to execute that. Yeah. All right. Any other questions about today? I hope you understood where Sati Sampajanya belong in the path to the peace. So it is belong to number 5 over here. All right, looks like no more questions. Maybe I do a little bit of sharing after this. Maybe before? Okay. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you to Nalanda Buddhist Society and Wisdom Park. Very happy to see you. Very happy to have delivered these sessions. I hope that you consider this is as a continuous journey. It's not a one-day, 4-day camp journey, and bring this valuable knowledge and the practice and continue the Dhamma journey. May your Dhamma journey become a very successful, fruitful journey. May all the good karmas follow wherever you go, mentally, physically, and in everything in your life. Thinking thus, may all the good karmas we be making today be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddha pachayino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sangha sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. Yes, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you for empowering us with the Dhamma gadget to be practical. And let us all guide our feet to the star more together, our bodies teacher. We are deeply grateful for Bhante's compassion, guiding us to learn the Dhamma in depth. Thank you, Bhante. That to offer some praise to Bhante. pay respect to Bhante.
Vandami Bhante. Dhamma Vandami Bhante. Sangha Vandami Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante. We wish you good health, long life, peace, and happiness. If there's opportunity, please come and teach us the Dhamma again. Sukhiyo.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Slowly. Now we are going out. Please slowly set up our stuff.